When Representative Ilhan Omar suggested U.S. politicians are influenced by financial pressure from the American Israel lobby AIPAC, she was smeared by Democrats and Republicans as anti-Semitic. The truth is, she wasn't being anti-Semitic, she was stating a fact. Here's 5 times AIPAC insiders got caught admitting how they control American politics with money. Number 1. Leaked memos. It's important to understand that even though AIPAC spends millions on lobbying Congress, it does not contribute directly to political campaign contributions. It would be illegal, but AIPAC does influence campaign contributions indirectly, like all powerful lobbies, through the organization and bundling of individual donations from AIPAC members, and dozens of pro-Israel PACs, who often take cues from AIPAC, which we know from leaked documents sent to the Washington Post in 60 Minutes.
It's an AIPAC memo.
I don't recognize it as an AIPAC memo.
AIPAC later confirmed the documents were real. They didn't reveal anything illegal, but clearly linked AIPAC with the otherwise unaffiliated pro-Israel PACs. Because AIPAC is only indirectly involved in campaign contributions, it's hard to determine exactly how much campaign money they're responsible for, but we know the amount is significant. Former Congressman Brian Baird explains, quote, "Any member of Congress knows that AIPAC is associated indirectly with significant amounts of campaign spending if you're with them, and significant amounts against you if you're not." Former AIPAC Director Steve Rosen confirmed AIPAC's powerful grasp on Congress when he told The New Yorker, in 24 hours, AIPAC could have the signatures of 70 senators on a table napkin. Number 2. Got the message?
The clout of AIPAC here on Capitol Hill is legendary. In recent years, AIPAC and the pro-Israel PACs have helped defeat, among others, Congressman Paul Findlay and Pete McCloskey, Harrison Schmidt of New Mexico, Walter Huddleston of Kentucky, and Chuck Percy of Illinois.
As chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, I saw our foreign policy totally turned around. Who is running the foreign policy? Can Israel and the Prime Minister have more power than the entire Senate of the United States or the President of the United States? And that, to me, I simply said, enough is enough.
When Senator Percy went against the wishes of AIPAC, large sums of money from pro-Israel PACs went to his challenger. One major contributor and council member of AIPAC, who would later be convicted for illegal campaign contributions, spent over $1 million on anti-Percy ads. Percy lost his seat, and then executive director of AIPAC, Tom Dine, made crystal clear that AIPAC was responsible when he said,
quote, "All the Jews in America from coast to coast gathered to oust Percy. And the American politicians, those who hold public positions now, and those who aspire, got the message."
I think if he had it to say all over again, he would have put it altogether differently.
Number 3. Caught on tape. In 1992, then AIPAC President David Steiner was caught on tape bragging that he, quote, cut a deal with the George H.W. Bush White House to give Israel $10 billion in loans, $3 billion in military aid, and, quote, almost $1 billion in other goodies that people don't even know about.
And during the current fiscal year alone, and despite our own economic problems, the United States provided Israel with more than $4 billion, nearly $1,000 for every Israeli man, woman, and child.
When Bush actually stood up against the lobby and delayed giving Israel the $10 billion loan guarantees in an attempt to force Israel to enter a peace conference with the Palestinians, AIPAC fought back.
I'm up against some powerful political forces.
The President of the United States described himself as one lonely little guy compared to the power of the Israel lobby.
I heard today there were something like 1,000 lobbyists on the Hill working the other side of the question. We got one lonely little guy down here doing it.
Although Bush was successful in getting Israel to enter the peace conference, Bush's Jewish backing took a nosedive, and AIPAC's President Steiner was recorded saying he helped raise millions of dollars for the candidate who would go on to replace Bush, Bill Clinton. Ever since Clinton defeated Bush Sr., no American president has ever challenged the billions of dollars we give Israel in foreign aid every year, despite Israel's consistent violation of international law.
Soldiers opened fire, killing more than 50 Palestinians, including 8 children.
Number 4. Hidden cameras. The Lobby USA is an Al Jazeera documentary reportedly suppressed by the pro-Israel lobby until eventually leaking online in 2018. The film follows a reporter with hidden cameras going undercover into pro-Israel groups. In one scene, David Ox, whose organization works closely with AIPAC, tells the undercover reporter about an AIPAC group fundraiser. It's for Congressman Anthony Brown, and the group plans to essentially pay the congressman to kill the Iran deal.
This is direct spending. Brown's going to use that 30 grand to do ad campaigns. So we want the Jewish community to go face to face in a small environment, 50, 30, 40 people, and say, this is what's important to us. We wanted to make sure if we give you money that you're going to enforce the Iran deal. That way, when they need something from him or her, like the Iran deal, they can quickly mobilize and say, look, we'll give you 30 grand. They actually impact it.
Number 5. The whistleblower.
I worked at AIPAC. I know how they operate.
MJ Rosenberg worked at AIPAC for 6 years and spent 15 years on Capitol Hill. So if anybody knows about AIPAC's influence in Washington, it's him.
Yes, most of the Jews in Congress care about Israel. Most Jews do. But that care would likely lead them to support dovish positions and not mindless hawkishness, were it not for the lobby and the financial benefits of staying in its good graces. Honestly, can anyone believe Elizabeth Warren really believed that the Gaza war was a good idea? Or any of the other big-time progressive types who supported it, or at the very least refused to condemn it?
You know, Israel invaded Gaza today. We just want to get your thoughts on that. Just a quick question.
These are people who always favor diplomacy over war. Why would they do that? Their position on this issue of war and peace is dictated by their determination to please AIPAC donors.
Of course, it's not just AIPAC. Everything that comes before Congress is about the money. That is the issue Congresswoman Omar and so many others are trying to address. Those who smear critics of AIPAC as anti-Semitic are trying to silence honest, rational debate about American foreign policy in the Middle East. AIPAC has managed to stifle that debate for decades now, and enough is enough.
In fact, in yesterday's Washington Post, Jennifer Rubin referred to me as anti-Semitic. Well, now they're calling Jews who disagree with Israel anti-Semitic.
I'm Matt Orfala. Thanks for watching.
Back when I first started AIPAC, my boss warned me not to ever talk about AIPAC activities outside the lobby. He wrote, "A lobby is a night flower. It thrives in the dark and shrivels up in the sunlight." I think that may be happening now thanks to all our efforts. If it does, not only the United States, but Israel, the Palestinians, and the world will be better off. This night flower needs crushing. Thank you.